gift from an old admirer who followed me once on tour from Rome to Bamonte. Now he lives in his grandson's house and sends me occasional gifts. He signs the orchestra starting to tune. This is our business, we read without text. The rustling of papers, the coughs, the sudden hush. At each moment we know what comes next. We know what comes next. Here in the casa riposa we sit together, friends who have lived past our best. We pick up the traces of excitement, longing for more. We remember the rest. We remember the rest. We all have lost 80 and more, but don't waste any pity. We've triumphed again and again. Come open my trunk, see the costumes I wore. In this I once sang as cha-cha song, then sequined in black was Mozart's queen. Alright, listen to that new diva sing. Her voice isn't bad, though she seems a bit too polite. And yet I catch phrasing I've used, mixed in with hers. Yes, I'm hearing that line. I sense the held breath of the crowd. I hear it call. And I bow for the part that is mine, the part that is mine. Here in the casa riposa we sit together, friends who have lived past our best. beautiful garden, the opera's about to begin. The radio's good, though I got it for free. A gift from an old admirer who followed me once on tour from Rome to Bamonte. Now he lives in his grandson's house and sends me occasional gifts. He signs the orchestra's starting to tune. This is our business, we read without text. The rustling of papers, the coughs, the sudden hush. At each moment we know what comes next. We know what comes next. Here in the casa riposa we sit together, friends who have lived past our best. We pick up the traces of excitement, longing for more. We remember the rest. We remember the rest. We all have passed 80 and more, but don't waste any pity. We've triumphed again and again. Come open my trunk, see the costumes I wore. In this I once sang as cha-cha song, then sequined in black was Mozart's Queen of the Night. Listen to that new diva sing. Her voice isn't bad, though she seems a bit too polite. And yet I catch phrasing I've used, mixed in with hers. Yes, I'm hearing that line. I sense the held breath of the crowd. I hear it call. And I bow for the part that is mine, the part that is mine. Here in the casa riposa we sit together, friends who have lived past our best. We pick up the traces of excitement, longing for more. We remember the rest. We remember the rest. curtain rises.
While on tour in England, Maria Malibran suffered a severe riding accident when she fell from her saddle and was dragged headfirst through rough terrain. That same night, concealing her injuries under makeup and a wig, she performed in Bellini's La Sonnambula. I wonder, could it have been confusion, perfectionism, instinct, or supreme competitiveness that drove her on? It's been theorized that her injuries might well have contributed to the truthfulness of her performance as the enchanted sleepwalker.
The more they love you, the more you have to live up to. Name.
Maria Menengini Carlos.
Born. Anna. Maria. Sophia. Kalogeropoulos.
Age 53.
Somewhere the curtain falls.
It's difficult to be objective when one feels one knows the subject. The state of her eyes came as no surprise. Her extreme nearsightedness, like so much else about her, was already legendary. Performing without her glasses, she was virtually blind on stage. Carlos was even known to memorize the positions of the scenery and the other singers in every theater she played. She once picked up a bouquet of radishes a detractor had thrown on stage, believing they were roses.
trapped in our scales like caged birds, flapping the endless journey from sea to sea and back again, from piano to fortissimo. Only 7 letters matter. 7 letters and a little breath. A world of possibilities begins in a heartbeat and ends in a whisper. What's to become of us once the music stops?
Shadows rise and fall with the passage of clouds. A single drop of rain lands on the back of my neck and gives me chills that last for days. A single chord resonates in my heart and gives me chills that last a lifetime. On days like this, the air is breathing me.
If I love you, watch that.
Bacio and bacio and cor and ultra bacio. Leon Rasa threw herself into a lover's pit.
Madalena Boog disappeared.
Stab.
Come and stab. Lego.
Stab.
Hilda. Leonora.
Killed by Jack the Ripper. Lulu melts into love. Torndo.
The air vibrates for a moment, and then the world goes still. And presarios tempt us. We regret the lack of children, and chambermaids endow their pensions, peddling vials of diva's bathwater. The cruelest words of all.
Out of my range and before my time.
She leapt from the balcony and died.
Floria Tosca, opera singer from Rome. The investigation clearly supports the findings in the police report. A fiery, jealous brunette who haunts the church where her lover is painting a portrait of Mary Magdalene. He's one of those radical artists, and unfortunately for Tosca, when it comes to Magdalenes, gentlemen prefer blondes. Scarpia, this dirtbag head cop, uses the dark one's jealousy to trap the artist in return for a little hanky-panky in the Farnese Palace. Tosca plugs the cop, a sweet little stiletto of a kiss, right to the ventricle. Didn't even graze the ribs. She then tries to stage her lover's mock execution, right down to the phony bullets. But it seems nobody ever told the firing squad that it was only an opera. Right after she sees her lover isn't getting up for the curtain call, the cops find their dead chief and Tosca takes a flying leap into the void. Oh yeah, she knew all about velocity, trajectory, and air resistance. The same laws that made her singing possible went to work on her body, sending her on a violent spiral towards the limits of the void. The place where irresistible force meets immovable object. Singer and voice together, falling, falling, falling. One last brilliant gesture and Tosca goes splat. Big time. Not a pretty sight.
Rosa Ponsel, 1919.
Contemplating the murder of her children. How do you think it should sound?
There's a better world in heaven, or at least off stage.
It makes no sense to die for love, only to die of it.
Consumption sings to death. Antonia.
Violetta, me. Wakes up. Amina, broken into pieces. Olympia.
He gives me many names. He tells me he is Marcello, Alfredo, Tristan, Jose, Cala, Figaro, and Siegfried. But in my heart, I have the answer. I know his real name is Love.
I smell the odor of femininity. Arrestati, sei bello.
He's dead at the hands of a woman. Now I forgive him.
Childbirth, transcendent love,
A broken heart.
Melisande, Isolde,
Salut.
Anasuta was shot by her conductor, resurrected.
Will I ever be fat enough to be that good?
Hey, you want to just sing the notes the way he wrote them, honey?
They call me Mimi. I don't know why.
Boy meets girl. Families are at war. Blood feuds are spoken. Revenge is sworn.
Dolls are broken.
Cannons are fired.
Women go mad.
Temples crumble into ruin. Gardens are transformed into deserts.
Lovers sink into the ashes. Lovers rise from the sea. Here, life
Name.
Maria Felicia Garcia Malibran.
Dead at the age of 28.
Somewhere, the curtain rises.
Name, Maria Menegini Calas.
Born Maria Anna Cecilia Sophia Calgaropolis.
Dead at the age of 53.
Somewhere the curtain falls.
The official cause of death, a sudden heart attack, seems mysterious. No prior muscle injury could be found. Maria's heart, like her gift, simply failed. Her lungs had stretched the diameter of her ribcage unnaturally, as if wanting to burst from her body. The vocal cords were thickened, showing signs of chronic trauma. After 20 years as a prima donna, with a voice forged more from determination than natural gifts, she had virtually sung herself out. Like Antonia in Tales of Hoffman, who destroys her fragile body by singing to death, Callas's life really ended with her last performance. Her physical demise was merely a technicality.
The more they love you, the more you have to live up to.
This Maria, she tried to ignore her injuries until it was too late, performing until she was unable to stand. Examination of her skull revealed massive hemorrhaging, exerting tremendous intracranial pressure. But even before the accident, Maria had a long history of nervous disorders, and such a young woman, her internal organs, they showed signs of immense wear, as you'd expect in a body many years older, aged before its time.
You begin to think of yourself in the third person. There are two of you and the voice.
Maria's internal organs seemed inflamed, almost scorched, as if even in death she suffered from that obscure operatic malady of consumption. But this was no wasting disease, this was an internal fever, a fever of the soul, and she burnt herself up with it, consuming herself as she sang.
I don't like to infer, but we've all heard those stories. Maria Malibran had no childhood, really, why she was thrust onto the stage as early as age 5 by a tyrannical father, himself a renowned tenor and voice teacher. For her first American tour at the age of 17, he threatened to kill her if she could not learn the role of Desdemona in 6 days. Maria scored a triumph, but when her father, playing the role of Othello, came to strangle her on stage, she felt such real terror that she bit his hand until he screamed. Her teeth, on the other hand, are still in remarkably good condition. Tools of the trade, I suppose, and so, unlike what I found on the inside of her body, oh, her face, it's still that of a child.
They call me Mimi. I don't know why.
I don't know. Forensics can only take us so far, but perhaps the body of an artist inspires conjecture.
Arrestati Sena.
Remain. Thou art beautiful.
And bacio, and cor, and ultra bacio.
Again a kiss.
A kiss.
Again, still
Another.
another kiss.
How well I remember that wondrous tosca at Covent Garden. I can almost hear it now. Why, one night, Callas was standing so close to those damn candles that her wig caught on fire. Stoppy noticed as he sang, and pretending to give her one of those lecherous embraces of Scopia's, he quietly smothered the flames with his hands. Grazie, Tito, she was just before she stabbed him. Tito, 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 Tito. Vaso to Betsy, a Greek pianist who knew Callas slightly, arranged with the Greek government to have Maria's ashes scattered in the Aegean Sea with full naval, military, and religious pomp. A naval destroyer loaded with dignitaries sailed out into a sunny summer day, which turned blustery with a high sea wind as soon as we left the harbor. The warship bucked and heaved in a brisk Aegean swell, and the wind howled in the turret. It was evident to me that Maria definitely did not approve of this business. The usual things about Maria's greatness were said, much of them lost in the air, carried off by the wind. Vaso held the casket, that same grim box that had so upset me in the cold vault a year earlier. She handed it to the minister, and for a moment they both wrestled with the lid. The priest intoned a prayer, then the minister approached the rail and tipped the contents over the side. Precisely at that moment, the worst gust of wind of the whole day blew in from the sea, and just as Maria's fluffy gray ashes left the receptacle, they were instantly blown back over us all. Vaso received much of the fine powder full in the face, and as she had her mouth wide open, in order to catch her breath in the driving spray, a great deal went down her throat. She began to sputter and retch. Indeed, we all got some in the face and mouth and were forced to spit and cough it up. The ship's horn was sounded in mournful tribute, though it appeared more like the moan of an anguished spirit. Rubbing my lips with my handkerchief, I looked around at the illustrious party and realized that we were all swallowing Maria's remains. We were helplessly eating Maria Callas. The greatest diva of the century was being consumed by those who had thought to placate her spirit.